I'm Dawn, your Fiber Foods coach, and in an earlier segment I explained how to select an artichoke. In this segment I'd like to share with you how to prepare the artichoke. This is what the end product will look like. A cut tip, and the stem has been trimmed. So I'm going to take you through those steps. The first thing you want to do is make sure you get a bowl of water, as I have here, and make it acid by using some vinegar or lemon or both. I actually used both in this case. Since this artichoke is prepared, to make sure it doesn't brown, what I did is as soon as I cut it, I applied lemon. I rubbed it down with lemon. And what I'm going to do while I'm preparing this next one is I'm going to soak it in this bowl of the water, vinegar, and lemon juice. I'm going to set this aside and get brand new artichoke. I want to wash it first. What I like to do is use a brush to make sure I get off any pesticide residue. So I'm brushing it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bread knife and I'm going to cut off the top, let's say 3/4 to 1 inch. That's where the tips are, and we're really getting rid of the thorns. Let's be very careful. Okay, and that's how this will look when it's cut. The next thing I want to do is trim off the tips of the leaves because they're kind of thorny. And I will just take a kitchen scissors and just trim off the edges, the tips really. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Okay. And once we've trimmed off the tips, we're going to just pull off these bottom leaves. And let me also mention the reason why I'm preparing it this way is I'm going to use a recipe that I think is going to be pretty tasty. It's a baked artichoke recipe, and it's actually one I found on another website called For the Love of Cooking. And baked, I understand, is one of the best ways to do artichokes. I'm going to cut off about half of the stem because I want to get to the part that's very tender looking. And now that I've done that, I'm going to take a paring knife and just start trimming the stem. What I'll do with the artichoke eventually is cut this in half, and the end product will be an artichoke which has the choke removed, which is right here, and some of the inner leaves. So we will take the artichoke, which has been soaking in water, vinegar, or lemon juice, or in my case I added both. We'll just drain the artichoke. We are going to cut it in half, being very careful, of course. So now we have the cut artichoke. I'm going to rub it down with lemon juice. Again, if you don't rub it down with lemon juice, you're going to find that the artichoke will brown, so you don't want that. I am then going to take a melon boiler to remove this hairy part. That's called the choke. You want to remove all of that and these smaller leaves that are really prickly. You wouldn't want to eat that. So I'll just take the melon boiler and scoop out the choke, trying to save as much of the heart, which is the really best part of the artichoke. That bottom part below the choke is the heart. Okay, it's very prickly, so be careful. You do not want to hurt yourself. Hopefully you're getting a good view of me taking out the inner leaves and the choke. What I like about this melon boiler is you can get a nice circular motion and do a good job of scraping out all of the hairy part of that choke.